Hello, and today we were playing Zomewhere Else. Chad, breakfast ready. A soft hand begins to nudge your shoulder, getting stronger with every push. You relent and open your heavy eyes, being greeted by warm rays of light and a golden furred man looking over you. Once you sit up from your bed, you stretch out your arms and feel a burst of energy run through you. You feel great. It's almost as if yesterday never happened. You look up to Fred, who's crouching next to you with a warm smile, seeming content from your newfound vigor. You smile back at him, slightly embarrassed. Good morning. Good morning. Or should I say, good morning. What? It takes you a second to get the joke. You look at your quads just in case the coast is clear. Dude, fuck off. You shake your head with a spurt, smacking his shoulder with a pillow. You owed me one. The big German Shepherd looked at you with a warm smile while chuckling. Breakfast ready. Take as much time as you need and come downstairs when you're ready. Fred passed your shoulder twice. You smile back with a nod. Alright, I'll be right there. Cool. Fred stands up from next to the bed and making his way to the doorway, springing steps. You cover your mouth. Hello. Thanks for tuning in, and today we'll be playing Zomewhere Else. Chad, breakfast ready. A soft hand begins to nudge your shoulder, getting stronger with every push. You relent and open your heavy eyes, being greeted by warm rays of light and a golden furred man looking over you. Once you sit up from your bed, you stretch out your arms and feel a burst of energy run through you. You feel great. It's almost as if yesterday never happened. You look up to Fred, who's crouching next to you with a warm smile, seeming content from your newfound vigor. You smile back at him, slightly embarrassed. Good morning. Good morning. Or should I say, good morning. What? It takes you a second to get the joke. You look at your quads just in case the coast is clear. Dude, fuck off. You shake your head with a spurt, smacking his shoulder with a pillow. You owe me one. The big German Shepherd looks at you with a warm smile while chuckling. Breakfast ready. Take as much time as you need and come downstairs when you're ready. Fred pats your shoulder twice. You smile back with a nod. Alright, I'll be right there. Cool. Fred stands up from the next to the bed, making his way to the door with a spring in his step. You cover your mouth as you yawn. The temptation to go back to sleep is massive, but you resist the sun's call and stay awake. You try to recollect yourself, rubbing your eyes while thinking back on that dream. Again with these weird dreams. It was pitch black, but clear as day. How could I see everything so clearly? How did I know that place? Who was that man that was with me? I've seen those robes before, but I barely remember where. You do your best to imagine the man from the dream. His stature was enormous, but he was so kind. The more you try to think, the less you are able to recall. Should I tell Fred about this? I know he wants to help me, but it would make sense that he knows about my weird dreams. Maybe later. Take a short breath and find the energy to push past the seats and quickly stand on your feet. Whoa. You feel the world spin as the blood rushes to your head. You nearly fall over until you lean on the wall. The dizziness slowly begins to fade away. Once it's over, you start putting on your clothes and leave the room. You walk to the bathroom across the hall, walk into the sink. You turn on the faucet and splash some water onto your face. The cold water is enough to kill off any remaining morning wood you had left. Once you're done with the sink, you aim your weapon in the toilet basin and do your thing. When the flush sounds safe, you're done in the bathroom. You walk out of the small room and down the short corridor, a wooden door marking the exit. You twist over the knot and are greeted by a set of stairs leading to the floor below. You take the stairs headed down, leaning your hand on the old wooden handrail. Each step creaks and groans under your weight, growing weak from years of use. That or you've somehow gotten heavier during your coma. At the bottom of the dimly lit staircase, you're greeted by a dusty wooden door, much like the one you just exited from. You open the door and walk down a similar hallway, landing at a final set of stairs. There isn't much to admire on the worn-out walls, the only patterning present being the wood grain. Upon reaching the bottom, you're greeted by more doors, 3 to be precise. Who designed this place? A minor tour? I kind of wish Fred would have stuck around, because I'm lost. The door to your left is next to a window. You can see some grass and shrubbery just beyond the pane of glass. You look at your last 2 options. The door in the center seems a little worse for wear. Video game logic dictates that the white door is usually the correct choice. You place your hand on the brass knob, turning and pulling it open to find the cafe. You look around and find Fred sitting at the bar and stern-looking Jenny on the other side. The smiling German Shepherd motions for you to come over, patting the chair next to you. You walk towards your designated place while being a target of Jenny's cold stare. Morning. Before I save it, to say Jenny is mad may be an understatement. I don't want to hear it, but in fact, I don't want to hear anything from you. Until Jenny reaches for something under the bar counter, exactly where she keeps her hammer. Jenny, wait, until you eat this. Within the blink of an eye, Jenny holds a small paper bag in front of your face. Wait, what? I got you some breakfast, dummy. What, you thought I was mad at you? You look at Fred with a confused look. He instantly bursts out laughing, followed by Jenny. But I need to apologize. For what? What do you mean? What do you mean, for what? That whole slap thing that happened. Slap thing? You slapped me. Oh, did I? Yes. Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah, you kind of deserved it. Okay, but what? You want another one? Jenny raises her hand before giving a kiss. No, I'm good, thank you. Bro, really did deserve that slap. I'm sorry. Chad, it's all good. Last night was bad, but it's in the past, okay? Fred and I already talked about it, and everything's okay. Especially after the bad service you gave him last night. She gives you a week before blowing a kiss. What did they talk about? Bad service? She's taking your chain. Don't you worry. Fred gives an amused smirk while shaking his head. The man almost seems disappointed there wasn't any bed service to speak of. With that out of the way, we can talk about it later if you want, but for now, you need some food in you. I already prepared everything with Mr. Lorenzo. We're going to see Tony. Wait, really? A brilliant smile rises on your face. The thought of you seeing the small kitten feels like a light at the end of the tunnel. Jenny's nod is all the confirmation you need. Hell yes. Also, you guys know Mr. Lorenzo? Who doesn't? That old geezer's older than this town. Yeah, he's probably been Yeah, he's been at this school for years now. He became the principal after you know. Oh, I see. Well, what's the plan, Mr. Lorenzo on our side? Alright, so when we're done eating and getting ready, we're going to head to the school. We got to hide as the kids are coming into the school, especially when Tony's dad arrives. From what we've seen, he tends to just drop off Tony and leave immediately. Mr. Lorenzo said that after his dad leaves, we can talk to Tony. Normally, no one's allowed into the school during class hours, but the old guy was nice enough to give us special permission. Sounds pretty easy, right? Yeah, but can we really trust Mr. Lorenzo? What? I mean, we're getting there into the school based on what information? Doesn't this seem too convenient? You look at Jenny, who's slowly raising her hand again menacingly. Come on, Chad, do you think we wouldn't think about that kind of stuff? We've known him for years. He's always been a gentleman to us. Plus, when we mentioned you, he was actually pretty happy. Really? Yeah, he seems to really be fond of you. I guess he knows how much you care about Tony. That's fair. Hopefully, everything goes okay. When did you guys set this up? Well, we weren't busy with the cafe anymore, so we figured while we're waiting for your recovery, we needed to get some things in order. Jenny stayed here with you while I went over to the school. Mr. Lorenzo spoke for a few minutes, but he was pretty receptive. Alright, but you guys specifically set up the meeting for the day? Yeah, why? Did you guys count me in? Of course, you're part of the team. How did you guys know I was going to wake up today, though? I figured you'd be recovered by now. That a few days was all you needed. But, in any case, we would have gone without you anyways. Yeah, we need to help Kathy and Tony out as soon as possible. Food is fuel. Now shut up and eat your breakfast. You nod your head and chuckle, happy that you may get to see Tony. Pulling open the paper bag reveals a breakfast sandwich wrapped in paper. The crisp buttery toast releases a satisfying crunch as you bite into it. You're hit by a sudden tanginess from the mayo-drenched eggs, but the smooth texture strikes a nice balance. It's okay. The food itself is good, but you wish you were eating with Kathy and Tony as well. The reality of the situation sours the taste of an otherwise great meal. The thought of you, Fred, and Jenny eating with the two of them is kind of nice, though. Jenny begging Kathy for coffee expertise, you and Tony talking about video games, Fred cooking up something in the kitchen. Despite the pain of not having them here, the thought of seeing them again makes you smile. Drink your coffee with renewed vigor. Honestly, we're going to halt progress on the cafe. Sadly, that means I can't really pay you. Your two engines be working. There's no way in hell I'm going to let your situation get worse just for some money. But I'm all good now. I try to strike a pose, but piercing pain takes your breath away. You smile through it anyways, but the rabbit shakes her head with a concerned look. No way, you and I both know you're not fully healed. You can pretend to be all fine and dandy, but those injuries aren't going to fade away in just a few days. I'm not going to take any more chances, not to mention being sued for labor abuse would be very cool. Why would I sue you? I don't know, man. I just wanted to make sure you're fully recovered. He already is, or he will be soon. Look at Fred with a puzzled look. He was cool as a cucumber. He still hasn't answered why he didn't take me to the hospital. You know, with a shaky breath, believing Fred must have had good reason. He finishes up your sandwich with a smile. Thank you very much. You guys ready to go? Yeah, we're ready for you. Let's go. The three of you get up from your seats, hurriedly making your way to the entrance of the cafe. Fred kindly opens the door for the two of you. Jenny gently pushes you outside along your foot, logging the cafe behind you both. Your whole body tenses up immediately. A swift, chilly breeze freezes your bones. It's definitely a lot colder than it was 4 days ago. Holy hell, it's cold. Oh, you notice? Yeah, when did this happen? Do you need my jacket? Nah, I'll be okay. I got you, fam. You turn around to find Jenny proudly holding up a thick jacket. Where was he hiding at? Wasn't sure what your size was, but you and Fred look pretty similar. Try on. Geez, thank you, Jenny. You slide your arms into your jacket sleeves, hastily buttoning it up. It's a nice fit. The inside is soft and warm to the touch, and perfectly effective at warming you up. You take a relieved breath and move your arms around. This jacket fits you like a glove. It doesn't impede your movement at all. I love it. Thanks again, Jenny. No problem. Now you look like a real Chad. As if, Jenny, let's get going. Jenny smiles as he takes the lead, walking a few feet in front of you and Fred. You lean close to Fred's ear as the three of you begin the trip. Do I really look like a Chad? Yes, Chad, absolutely, Chad. Damn. As he elbows you playfully, you can't help but feel a little embarrassed. You both follow the wayward rabbit, the three of you heading straight for the school. It doesn't take long to arrive at the bustling schoolhouse. The whole pack was buzzing with anticipation. You're greeted by the sight of children and parents bustling around the main gate, many parents kissing their kids goodbye before leaving them in the care of Mr. Lorenzo. The three of you approach the elderly lion, who seems busy greeting everyone who comes his way. Yo, Mr. Lorenzo. The old man notices you guys, his ears perking up at the sight. Oh, you must be from the archival team. Are y'all ready to sort the school's records? The three of you tilt your heads with perfect synchronization, all looking confused and befuddled. No, wonderful. Please head to my office right away then. Mr. Lorenzo scurries you inside the schoolhouse and completely nonchalant all the while. Once inside, you can hear the old man continue to greet parents and allow children inside. You struck off that weird greeting with you and Fred following Jenny, who skips towards the principal's office. You land into a strangely nostalgic room with the rabbit closing the door behind the two of you. Oh my God, the principal's office. I can't even remember the last time I was here. Jenny seems oddly giddy about being in here, almost as if she's met her childhood friend. Well, I still do. Remember us being here every day from our first day of class to our last? Sit your trap, pup. You can't just divulge that type of info or a whim. Jenny gets close to you and links her arm with yours. You know I'm a good girl, right, Chad? Oh yeah, 100% good girl. You're goddamn right I am. Jenny sticks her tongue out at Fred, who chuckles defiantly. Be careful, you know what they say about good girls, right? Yeah, I know. Now what are you guys trying to say? Nothing. Jenny pulls her arm away and shoots you a sour look. You chuckle, you're sour because you actually have no idea what Fred was implying. Anyways, what was that whole charade about? I don't know, to be honest. Maybe he was taking extra precautions. We really need to play along next time. Dusan's a powerful man. He may have people keeping an eye on things for him. Mr. Lorenzo is probably aware of that possibility. So we need to play it cool from now on. Yeah, got it. So, Fred looks at you with an inquisitive look. So while we wait for Thony, do you want to... All right. Tell us what happened. I don't mean to pry, but When your best friend shows up with your store employee nearly beaten to death, you tend to have some questions. Right, are you okay with explaining what happened? Yeah, don't worry. We're in this together, and I at least owe you guys an explanation. Okay, buddy. Alright, so yesterday? You mean 4 days ago? Yeah, sorry. I got a little confused. After I said goodbye to you, Jenny, Fred, and I was supposed to meet up at the park after I picked up Tony from school. But when I got there, Mr. Lorenzo said that Tony's father had already picked him up. I called Kathy to tell her, and she told me to come to the park immediately. Went there, but I only found Tony at first. He was crying and scared. Dusan had done something to his arm. He kept on rubbing it. Dusan stood up behind me and threatened Tony for talking to me. Tony looked so scared. He wouldn't stop crying. Poor kid. I told him I was taking Tony with me, but then I saw Kathy on the floor and she wasn't moving. You feel your chest tighten at the thought. You want to burst out crying, but you do your best to hold it all in. I was holding onto Tony when I went over to try and help Kathy, but Dusan grabbed him by the arm and nearly ripped him in half. You quickly grab your mouth as you feel your stomach turn. Remembering Tony being yanked like a rag doll is almost enough to make you puke. Jenny gasps while Fred puts a hand on your shoulder. You look at him with watery eyes, nodding before continuing with your account. I let go of Tony's arm. I didn't want him to get hurt anymore. Tony kept crying and begging Dusan to let him go, and that thing punched Tony in the back of his head. The poor kid went limp. His dad just dropped him on the ground like he was garbage. That sent me over the edge, and I went straight for his face. And my punch did fuck all. The man didn't even flinch. Wait, he didn't flinch at all? Not even a little. Dear God, Chad, I'm not trying to be funny, but you're muscle as hell. I wouldn't be surprised if you could punch through trees with those arms. Honestly, I thought I still had a chance, but then he punched me so hard I vomited. When that happened, I knew I was done. But I didn't give up, especially when he got close to Tony. I stood up to punch him again, and you wrote your sore fist, remembering how Dusan effortlessly dodged your massive hand, only leaving a small cut on the lion's smug face. You know better than to tell them about your strange power, although the thought about coming clean crosses your mind more than once. And you look at them once more, clearing your throat before continuing. And nothing. It didn't even affect him in the slightest. This time he punched me even harder, and then kicked my head and stomach a few times for good measure. What hurt more was that Kathy tried to defend me. She tried to fight him, but once more, the thought of Kathy and Tony being demolished by that animal makes your heart quiver. But she didn't stand a chance against him either. The last thing I remember is Kathy and Tony bodies being dragged away. Then there was nothing. You take a shaky breath as you remember to mentally collect yourself while Fred and Jenny look at you silently. What the fuck is his problem? Your heart jumps as Jenny bursts out her silence, pacing around the small room angrily. What kind of spineless asswipe beats the crap out of some little kid and a poor woman? Does he have no shame? I guess not. Maybe this is what power does to people. And all this happened at the park, in the middle of the day? Yeah, it wasn't even raining until I got there. And there was no one there at all? Nope, the first thing I did was look for someone else to be a witness or maybe even call the police. He said he made sure that no one would be in the park. That checks out. I don't know what he did exactly, but when I got to the park's gate, it was locked from the inside. I honestly had no idea why, but considering everything that happened, it makes sense. I guess it all comes together. But Fred, how do you get in then? I have my ways. The rabbit raises an eyebrow at the man. He can't help but follow suit. Why his friend been deflecting so much? So, is that everything that happened? Basically, I can't remember anything else. Alright, so to continue with your story, I managed to get into the park and arrive at the lookout. I was caught off guard by how empty the place was. And then I noticed something was happening near the bridge. I couldn't exactly see what was happening, but I got worried and ran down the hill. That's when I found you. You were all bloody and barely breathing. I tried waking you up, but you were unresponsive. The German Shepherd's tone is shaken and timid. It's easy to see that you're not the only one shaken when talking about that day. I knew I had to get you out of there, so I just grabbed you and ran like hell. Getting to the cafe was easy. The rain kept the streets empty, thankfully. I was sorry to say the least. Seeing you nearly beaten to death and Fred so depressed, it brought more harm. But Fred and I have dealt with our fair share of emergencies, so thankfully we kept our heads cool. We brought you upstairs, patched you up the best we could. Well, you know the rest. Right. I'm sorry, guys. I put you two through so much. I just didn't see it coming. I should have been more prepared. I'm sorry I wasn't there for you. It's my fault you had to take on that guy all on your own. And I'm sorry too. For what? Slapping Chad? No. I'm sorry you guys are apologizing so much. What you went through sucks. It really does. But listen to me, man. Ginny looks at you with a stoic, commanding gaze. We have to keep moving. You can't move forward if you're so focused on what's behind you. But you were the one who asked about what happened. Ugh, Chad, details. What I'm trying to say is, all this goes back to you apologizing this morning. You need to move on. We won't be able to help Thorny and Kathy if we're busy wallowing in self-pity. What happened, happened. All that matters now is that we're all alive together. We still have a chance to make things right. I get that, but I acted like a real dick to you both, and I owe you guys a proper apology. Dude, you already apologized. I told I'm not even angry. What I hate is this cycle of apologizing. So I did this. I should have done that. Why didn't I do blah blah blah? You already apologized like I asked you to. That's it. You're done. Now it's time for you to stop being sorry and start being better. Is that really so much to ask? The rabbit ears flop down as he turns her sullen face away from you. Something about the last sentence knocked the winds out of her sails. You want to say something, but Fred shakes his head while patting your shoulder. It's probably for the best, considering you don't even know what to say. You really can't place yourself in Jenny's shoes. You don't know where she's coming from, and much less of what she's been through. A few seconds of silence follow before a deep sigh from Jenny echoes in your ears. As a flickering switch, Jenny turns back around with her usual chipper self. Well, with that out of the way, let's talk about last night. The metallic squeaking of the doorknob stops Jenny dead in her tracks. The three of you turn around and face the entrance. The wooden door slowly opens to reveal Mr. Lorenzo's spectacled visits with a very familiar man behind him. Thorny. The small kitten jumps forward past the elderly lion, barreling towards you with a teary smile. You quickly kneel down and hug the small kitten. The two of you hold each other tightly as if your lives depended on it. Mr. Chan, I thought I'd never see you again. You can feel hot tears on your skin, and Thorny nuzzles his head deeper into your neck. I've been so scared, and I don't know what to do, Mr. Chan. You pull yourself back a little and are met by an endless stream of hot tears. You try to wipe them away from the kitten's cheek, but they keep pouring on no matter what you do. You can't help but tear up yourself, turning your head away from Thorny and saying, real men don't cry. At least that's what you tell yourself. It's okay, Thorny. I'm here for you. We're all here for you. Here, kid, blow your nose. Jenny hands Tony a napkin from her pocket. Tony takes it and blows his nose. How have you been? How's your mother? Everyone in the room is waiting patiently for Tony's response. Mr. Lorenzo is listening quietly in front of the door. We haven't been able to leave home at all. That day I just woke up in my bed and Mom was there with me. She kept telling me that everything was going to be okay. Ever since, my dad hasn't allowed my mom to go outside and threw out all of my mom's coffee things. He had me attend school all these days, but no matter where I looked, you were nowhere to be found. He told me if I told anyone anything, he would hurt Mom. Hey kid, I'm amazed you were brave enough to tell us. For all these days, I've been afraid that if I told anyone, it would get worse. But I don't want anything bad to happen to my mom. I know I can't help her by being quiet. Sometimes I hear her crying in her room, and I ask her if she's okay, and she always tells me it'll be okay. I know I won't get better, not if I don't do anything to help her. I wanted to warn you about my dad days ago, but I was too scared of what might happen if you and him got in a fight. I don't know why my dad is like this. He used to be so nice and happy with me and Mom. He's a completely different person now. He's just not like this. Tony, we'll get to the bottom of this, so don't worry. We're going to help you and Kathy, but you need to hold on and be strong for your mom, okay? With less useful grin to the kitten, he smiles back despite the tears still drying near his eyes. Okay. Just 3 more minutes left, everyone. Is there anything you or your mom need? Not that I can think of. Mom has been saying she wants to escape from my dad. She told me we can go with one of my aunts, but they live so far away from here. And I don't want to leave Mr. Chad. I finally made a new friend here at school. I don't want to leave you, Mr. Fred, or him behind. I know, buddy, but a part of you really wants to authority to save himself no matter what. But you know, that's not something the small kitten needs to hear right now. But we'll do everything we can so you don't have to leave. I give you my word, Tony. Just keep your hair up and continue to be a good kid. You're already so strong. You're only 10. Just imagine how you'll be when you're older, like Fred and I. You'll be able to throw mountains, little buddy. I will? Absolutely. You're flying us in arm wrestling too. But you need to stay strong, buddy. Also, let's not tell anyone about our little meeting, okay? I wouldn't dream of it. Please stay safe, Mr. Chad. You look like you went through a lot. I really don't want you to get hurt, Mr. Chad. Don't worry about me, kid. I'll be fine. Plus, Mr. Fred is here with me. He's going to help us from now on. Don't worry, Tony. Mr. Chad is in good hands. The tall German shepherd raises an arm and flexes his massive bicep. You know, Tony look on in amazement. Hey, what about me? Jenny butts in front of Fred with her dollar store smile in Jaz's hands. Yeah, what about that old lady over there? Oh, you mean Jenny? She's my boss. Yeah, she's with us too. They are soon to thinking as you realize your mistake. You called Jenny your boss. What have you done? Alright, everybody. Thumbs up. It's time for you to go to class, Mr. Reese. Alright, Mr. Chan. I let Mom know that we need to hold on a little longer. And I'll be fine, so don't worry. I know you will be. You're stronger than you know. Thanks, Mr. Chan. Finally walks towards the door. Mr. Lorenzo holds it open. Alright, goodbye, Mr. Chan. Goodbye, Mr. Friend. Goodbye, ma'am. Jenny is completely silent, but you feel her eyes drilling in the back of your skull. Have a wonderful day, fine gentlemen. And Jenny. Thank you so much, Mr. Lorenzo. The elderly lion gives you an appreciative nod before closing the door behind him and Tony. You can feel a black hole opening up behind you, sucking all the air and warmth from the room. When you finally decide to look back at Fred and Jenny, you look at Fred, who's vehemently shaking his head asking you to shut up. Or maybe he's telling you to run. Who's that old lady, Mr. Chan? Oh, that old carpetbag. We call her Jenny. She's from the old folks' home, partner. She's here to give you some hard candy and talk to you about life insurance. Jenny, not to mention she's my boss. Jenny flips her hair back with a disappointed sigh, her thick southern accent following her to the door. I'll be at the cafe with some lunch, 'cause that's what girl bosses do. But don't be late. Jenny exits the office with an exaggerated huff, leaving you and Fred staring at each other in awkward silence. The man just stands there, gritting his teeth in embarrassment. I think it's better to not talk about this ever. Deal. So, what's the plan now? Where do we start? I think I might have an idea. What do you have in mind? Remember Bruce? How could I ever forget? Well, we'll have to go to his place. Alright, but you have to promise me that you won't say anything unless I give you permission. Fred grabs your shoulders firmly and stares straight into your eyes. He's really not messing around. And no sudden movements either. Alright, but can you tell me a little bit about why we're going there? All I can say is that this is incredibly risky, but if things go okay, this is the best lead we got. Let's go then. Are you sure? I mean, do we have any other options? None that I can think of, no. Fred walks to the door with his shoulders held high. Then let's get going. We can't waste any more time. Until you nod as Fred opens the office door and exits. Fred holds the door open for you as you exit in the school's corridor. Until you finally reach the school's exit and are back in the frigid cold. Despite the awkwardness from inside the office, you miss the central heating. You both make your way across the road and quickly arrive at the park's lookout. Fred seems somewhat uneasy as he walks down the hill. Didn't he say that this blue sky was nice or something? You finally arrive at the park's bridge, but before either of you take more than a few steps forward, Fred stops dead in his tracks. The tall man turns around and notices you confused, clueless look. Let me do the talking, okay? You look into the man's eyes and are met with a warm yet stoic gaze. Fred smiles confidently as you nod your head in agreement. Alright, I trust you. If anything happens, just run. We'll meet back at the cafe. Got it. So mute my phone this time? New York. Fred stays silent for a second before bursting out laughing. No. We don't have to worry about that. Can't you blame me for asking? You nearly got buried because of this darn thing. True, but let's get going for now. Fred motions you to follow him as he starts walking towards the dense tree line surrounding the park. With a shrug of your shoulders, you follow him through some bushes and trees. Just where the hell are we going? It doesn't take long for the two of you to be deep into the green inferno. The thick bushes cling to your clothes as you walk up the mountainside, getting farther away from more marble. Minutes crawl like hours as you wade through the sea of trees. The once flat, stable floor has been replaced by settled rocks and raised roots. It almost feels like being on a monster's scar-ridden hide rather than walking on earthen ground. You look back for a second, amazed to see the entire city below you. Fred continues to walk higher and higher, seemingly determined to get to the top. Do you even know where we're heading? Shh. Huh? Shh. Don't shh me. Shan. Not a word from now on. You roll your eyes, shrugging off his rudeness as you continue to walk behind him. The one thing that has kept you motivated has been the fact that you're walking behind Fred. To say the view is pleasant would be an understatement. Just as you're beginning to feel drained, something catches your eye. Like an oasis in the desert, you approach the edge of a calm, tranquil lake. The sunlight glitters like diamonds across the surface of the clear water. Why does this feel so familiar? And take a few steps closer to the lush green pasture until Fred stops dead in his tracks, holding his hands up to stop you as well. Before he can make a sound, he slowly raises a finger to his lips. Fred squints his eyes and raises his ears, seemingly scanning the area for an unknown threat. Fred quickly looks up at the trees above with a mortified gasp. Chad, one. Fucking one! You turn around to try and run, managing to get a couple steps away before a massive figure lands between the two of you with a thunderous crash causing leaves and dirt to erupt into the air. Wait! A thick, stripped arm shoots through the air in front of you and slams into your neck, pinning you to a tree and quickly raising you up. Yeah. The familiar tiger's grip clamps down on your neck, tighter and tighter until you can no longer scream or breathe. You can see Fred's ears stand on end as he quickly runs next to you. Bruce, wait! I can explain Gah! In the blink of an eye, the master tiger grabs Fred by the neck and presses him against another tree trunk. After Fred has the luxury of breathing, while you, on the other hand, are beginning to suffocate under the man's claws. You desperately throw kicks and punches towards the man, your eyes beginning to water as your air begins to run thin. Wait, Chad, no, don't do anything. The towering tiger looks at you with anger and disgust as if he's crushing a cockroach in his hands. You throw another punch, but your arms quickly engulfed by one of his rope's scarf-like appendages. The cloth tightens and hardens around your arm like a cast. The scarf pulls your arm towards him. It feels like it's about to be whipped out of its socket. I can't go out like this. Ooh, stop, please. He's not a bat. We had a deal separate. And let this scumbag live as long as neither of you came here. As first of you broke your oath. You left me no choice in this matter. But wait, I can't. Silence. Now, the tiger's grip on Fred tightens, his deep voice booms, forcibly setting the German Shepherd up. You knew the cause of bringing him here, and yet, despite that, here you both are. The man's gaze slowly steals back to you, his claws digging even deeper into your neck as his eyes narrow towards you. You have only yourselves to blame for this. You can hear Fred's visage sinking despair, seemingly realizing this mistake will be fatal. He's got Fred too. We need to get out of this. You know you can't just kill us. There's too much at stake. I know the risk. Bruce looks at you once more. You're not willing to accept them. The tiger's loathing glare pierces your soul. You can't fathom his unending hatred for you. You brought nothing but misery into this world. You caused us so much pain. But no longer. I'm sorry, Fred. You weren't supposed to know about this. But I can't just let him hurt you. After everything you've done for me. Consequences. You close your eyes as you clench your free fist. Be gone. Chad, no, wait. Be damned. Don't do it. Without a second's hesitation, you open your crimson eyes and throw a punch at the Tiger Man. His eyes shine a vibrant blue as a polygonal hand explodes to life in front of his face, colliding into his cheek with a soul-crushing splat. The man's grip suddenly releases from around your neck as he stumbles back a couple steps, seemingly stunned by the blow, though his scarf remains wrapped around your wrist, dragging you along. With a desperate yank, you unwind his scarf away from your hand and slip out of his grip, falling to the ground and gasping for air. You quickly move away from the man, who still has Fred firmly pinned against another tree. The massive tiger rubs his eyes, seemingly regaining his composure at the same time you do. Take a deep breath and jump into a fighting stance, raising both of your fists up to your face and balancing in place. Bruce looks at you before spitting on the ground in front of him, his gaze met by your glowing crimson eyes. Fred hangs there, dazed and astounded by what he just witnessed. Let Fred go. The air begins to feel electrified as a tiger stares you down, readying himself for your onslaught. You can't help but look at Fred before focusing back on your enemy. Hope and pray that you and Fred will make it out of this damn forest. The light sound of the lake's waves lapping against the shore, the howling wind, the singing birds, it's almost as if the whole world is going to be watching. The silence is suddenly interrupted by Fred's shout. Run, Chad. Don't try to fight him. But I can't just leave you here. Yes, you can. Fucking run. Seeing that he clearly wasn't getting anywhere with you, his focus turns back to Bruce. Bruce, please, listen. The tiger quickly grabs Fred by the neck with his other hand and... Fred! You watch the German Shepherd's body drop from Bruce's grasp, collapsing into the bush. He singed and twitching, and then a thin veil of smokiness surrounding his crumpled form. The sight only serves to enrage you further, your fists clenching, tightening your claws, threatening to punch your palms. What the fuck did you do to him? Bruce's ire is now directed solely at you. I merely got him out of the way. Chad, Fred, don't worry about me, Chad. The tiger's eyes shoot straight through your soul, glistening with untethered rage. You feel motionless as a man readies to pounce. Just whatever happens, meet me back at the cafe. You draw back your fist, readying a mighty punch. But just as you throw your punch and the magical hand manifests from your body, the tiger's scarf rises and points directly at your extended arm. Suddenly, your arm pulls back seemingly on its own, pulling the magic hand back with it, which fades a moment later. Bruce, however, doesn't move a muscle, merely glaring at you with an authoritative, analytical gaze. Huh? You make to throw another punch, but as you do, a stinging pain pierces through your elbow, tightening your muscles and forcing your arm to retract once again. What the hell? Chad, you need to get away from him. Bruce's eyes fall from you only for a moment, another of his scars pointing towards Fred's body. Silence, Shepherd. Fred begins to writhe on the ground, muscles tensing as his claws feverishly at the dirt beneath him, clearly in a tremendous amount of pain. You stare in utter confusion towards the scene for only a moment before returning your eye to Bruce, fists clenching once again despite the pain. What are you doing to him? Stop! You have a burning feeling in your eyes and you can't stand to watch Fred get hurt anymore. You run towards the tiger man as fast as your legs can carry you, throwing another magical punch at him. Bruce effortlessly dodges to the side, twisting himself around behind you. You sprint on your heel, carrying the force of another punch back at him, but are stopped as the scarf points down at your legs, ravaging them with that same stinging pain. Your hand flickers as you collapse down to your knees, but you keep your fists tightly clenched. The scarf idly lifts up, pulling it again to your raised arm. The stinging manifests your shoulder now, instantly numbing your whole arm. It collapses limply to your side as your magical hand disappears entirely with it. Not again, damn it. Bruce towers above you, menacing gaze fixed on you as you shakily stare up at him, listening as you try to fight against the pain that moves your body. His eyes are cold, as if you were a miserable prey that has fallen into its hunter's grasp. Your eyes start to burn even harder. The tiger kneels down, meeting you at eye level. He scans your face deeply as you bare your face at him. He's so close. Move, damn it. Bruce grabs you by your muzzle firmly, settling your face in first direction. You fight with the one arm you can still use to free yourself from his grasp, but his grip is too tight. Get the fuck off me, you bastard! You feel Bruce's muscles tense ever so slightly for just a brief moment as his ear suddenly flicks in response to the word. See, Separate, this is exactly what I was telling you. Your brain's working on overdrive, trying to figure out what to do, or at least what the hell is going on, all the while your eyes are locked on Fred. No, it's not like that. You got it all wrong. You tend to try and free yourself from Bruce's hold. In fact, as Fred spoke, his grip only got tighter. Are you seeing something different than what it is right in front of your eyes? Separate? Is your vision not working properly? Have you completely lost it? I said, let me go. You throw a punch directly at Bruce's face, which succeeds in getting him to release you, but he humps backwards several times, quickly putting himself out of your reach. Is enough, though, and your magic hand quickly fades away once more. You fight against your paralyzed limbs to try and get them to move, but they're refusing to work with you. Do you honestly believe that a creature as pathetic as you could pull that trick off on me twice, dog? Fred doesn't look like he's able to move, but is paying close attention to what's happening around him. Before I put an end to this bothersome tripe, pray tell me, what is your purpose in coming here? Alright. Didn't you tell me to come find you if I ever needed you? He said that? I did. But circumstances have changed. Or maybe they have already changed and I simply did not notice. What the fuck are you talking about? What fucking circumstances? Bruce shakes his head, a summer gaze pointed at the ground for only a moment before lifting it back up to you. It is of little consequence. You still have not answered my question, dog. I brought him here. Bruce's attention shifts from you to Fred. He begins to slowly approach him. That still does not answer my question, Separate. Why did you come here? Stop wasting my time. You know why. You're just too blinded by hate to see that. Blinded, says the man unable to see the truth laid so bare before him. How beautifully ironic. You slowly began to feel your fingers again. Your eyes go wide as the tingling sensation creeps up the spine. Bruce's attention is fully shifted to Fred. This is my chance. Clenching your fist tightly, you adjust yourself on the ground ever so slightly before leaping to your feet, lunging at Bruce's back. As your polygonal hand is about to reach him, one of his scars flicks upwards, erasing the hand as they connect. Yet again, stinging pain overwhelms your wrist. What is it with these things? Are his scars causing them? I already told you, dog. Bruce is now facing you again. Once again, slowly closing the short distance between you. Each word he speaks is dripping with ever-increasing fury and exasperation. That is not going to work again. As he nears, all of his scars point in your direction, and your knees buckle under you, forcing you to kneel before him. Shit, not again. I can't move my freaking legs. Damn it, Bruce, stop. Before he can get any closer, though, a bone-chilling screech pierces through you from behind. What was that? You look up at Bruce to see his solid, resentful facade Sarah replaced with traces of nervous sweat and eyes fixated in the distance across the lake. Damn it. I've run out of time. This needs to end now. He shakes his head, returning his hateful gaze to you, and raises his guards to deal a finishing blow. God damn it, Bruce. Stop! You barely manage to lift a hand in a vain attempt to shield yourself for whatever the tiger had in store for you. As he's about to finish it, though, something darts in between the two of you, causing Bruce to step backwards in a panic. It was too fast to make out what it was, and it disappears beneath the surface of the lake with a huge splash before you can get a better look at it. The pain begins to slowly fade and your muscles finally begin to respond to you once again. Without your arms, at least. Bruce looks completely shocked. Instinctively, you glance back towards where the thing must have come from, but you can't see anything. Damn it! The man's sudden shout makes you jump, and when you look back up at him, you watch as he uses his scars to launch himself into the trees, vanishing into the dense foliage. The sounds of feet thumping heavily against wood trails off in the distance until all is once again quiet. You take a moment to take a deep breath and get your bearings, getting back to your feet. Your limbs are all shaky, and you can't tell if it's because of the adrenaline or Bruce's stings. Once you're confident enough in your stability, you turn your attention to Fred and go to his side, crouching down next to him and attempting to help him up. Hey, you okay? What the hell did he do to you? Don't worry about me, I'm fine. Listen to me, Chad. Please, you need to get as far away from here as possible right now. What? I can't just leave you here. That's enough. Just listen to me for once and fucking run. I still need time to recover, but you can run. I promise I'll be fine, but you have to go. We'll meet back at the cafe. You hear another shriek from the direction Bruce dashed off, and this time it was way louder than before, so loud in fact that it stares through your skull like a knife, causing you to wince and cover your ears. Before the ringing in your ears dies down, Fred shoves you away, shouting one last time at you. Go, damn it! Alright, goddammit, fine. You get back to your feet, burning and beginning to run, but you stop just a few steps away, looking back over your shoulder. I'll kick your ass if I don't see you at the cafe, Fred. Without waiting for a response, you break out once more into a sprint, disappearing into the thick wall of trees back the way you came. What the fuck is happening here? That damn German shepherd, he had better fucking know what he's talking about. There's no way I'm going to let him keep me in the dark on this anymore. You keep running in the direction you think you originally entered from, but the forest is so dense and everything looks so similar that it's impossible to get a grasp on exactly where you are. The terrain is uneven and hard to navigate too. It's bumpy with big roots making ample tripping hazards, but you can at least tell that you're definitely heading down the mountain. With the brush so thick, though, knowing you're going down is about all you can do. It's just impossible to see far ahead, so you keep your eyes glued to your feet, watching your step, and only looking up every few moments to check to make sure you're not about to run directly into a trunk. Hell, I can't see a thing. If I keep going down, I'm bound to get to the road, right? God damn it. It's so hard to think. I can't stop worrying about Fred. You continue to run through the trees and bushes in no particular direction, each step draining you already dwindling energy further and further. Suddenly, that same screech calls out through the forest as you quickly look back over your shoulder, frantic eyes scanning the path behind you as you fight against burning lungs to suck in air. What the fuck? Is that thing following me? Whoa! Your foot painfully clips a thick root, sending you tumbling forward. You quickly realize that you're now falling down the mountain. You only roll a few meters before the ground below your angles sharply downwards, sending you hurtling painfully down a steep incline. Ah, shit. Every rock and dirt outcropping punches at you as you pass by, your hands desperately clawing outwards for something to grab onto. You grasp eventually manages to find some loose branches, finally halting your rapid descent as soon as you realize you grab onto something. Your other hand reaches up as well, clinging onto it with all your might. Shit. Fucking ow. That hurt so bad. You shake your head to get some of the debris you can feel in your hair out, then open your eyes, glancing upwards at the thin trail of destruction you left in your wake Wow, your body processes a tremendous amount of pain you're in. You manage to spot a relatively flat outcropping nearby, at least flat enough that you can rest on it for a moment, but as you try to swing a leg up onto it, the branches in your hand creak and snap, once again releasing you down the steep hill. Damn it, not again. At least this time you have a bit more control. You quickly roll onto your back, sliding down the loose muddy surface, and are able to avoid ramming into any more trees. I gotta stop here right now. I'll play a little bit more. After falling a bit further, you finally see some flat, solid ground. Once you get close to it, you throw your body forward, rolling to a halt.